is Stallone-Obaraemi Samuel, and welcome again. So, in this episode, in this journey of personal development, which is what we're focused on, personal effectiveness, how you can become a better person, become a better version of yourself. I want to ask you a question. If you've been trying, if you've been trying to get rid of a bad habit and you've been failing, what should you do? Maybe you're watching this. I do not know where you are today in life, but for any reason, you probably are facing that. I had a very deep conversation today with a couple of people. I was called to speak to them and to talk to them, and then we had this conversation. But I figured that many people in the group, some people in the group were struggling with some things. And I picked a couple of things up. We shared, gave some suggestions, some recommendations. But I thought I should also share with you. You see, it's a journey. All right. It's a journey. Let me tell you what you need to think about whenever if you are trying to get rid of a bad habit. It might be anything, and you keep falling back, you keep experiencing some relapse. So some people just give up and say, "Oh, I give up." Okay, so think about this. If, for instance, you go on holiday and you go on vacation and you get on a cruise ship, okay, and you are going from one part of the one from the place you got on and you embarked on the ship to an island. Are you saying that you just get into the cruise ship, go to maybe the deck or somewhere, just lie down, sleep, and wait until you get to the island? Well, if you do that, where's the fun? The fun is in the trip. You see the blue ocean, you see things, you see sea life, you and then you meet friends, you network with people, you take a glass of wine, you go around, you just have fun. There's music, you play music, there's a pool, you play in the pool. And the cruise might take, I don't know how long, but you will not go except something is wrong. But you will not go hide yourself and wait until you get to the island. But a destination actually is the island. That's a destination, right? The destination is the island. But you will not just go sit down, wait until you get to the island. So, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that when you are trying to get rid of something, or when you're trying to achieve something in your life, that thing you want to achieve is the goal. But there's a process. So that's the goal, that's the vision, that's wherever you want to get to the final destination. But you can break that goal to smaller, achievable objectives. You begin the process, the activities. That is what brings about the change that prepares you for that goal. I'm emphasizing this because many people are used to just focusing on the goal and then forgetting the process that takes them to the goal. So like I told you, the case of the cruise ship, you will not just you will not just focus on the island and then forget the fact that there's a process, it's a trip, so much to see before you get to the island. So you get this. So do not underestimate the process. Be focused on growing yourself. That's what you do. If you are trying to move from one stage of your life to another and you keep experiencing setbacks, it's the process, it's the journey. So don't just give up. All right? Learn to grow yourself. Learn to spend quiet time meditating. Learn to take yourself away from the problem and do some thinking. Learn to swallow your pride, be humble enough and ask for help. But one thing you do not want to do is to stop the process. Practice, practice, activities that will take you closer. Study, learn so that you can grow. Somebody said once that as long as somebody anybody that spends more time to study in a particular space relative to you will always dominate you in that space, except you also do enough digging and put more effort into learning. So learning is very critical. Studying is very critical. It comes to personal effectiveness and growth. So take the time to also examine or look at stories of people that have gone through this, practical examples that you can learn from so that you can become a better person, you can become stronger. Remember, the goal is important, but I guarantee you the goal is not as important as the process that takes you there. Because the goal is simply a reward for the reward that is given to you for having grown, for having matured. But what matures you is the process, the obstacles, the setbacks, the pushes, the corners, the hills, the mountains, all the turbulence. That's what matures you. So be patient with yourself. Some of us say, I want to be here in 5 years. Yeah, 5 years comes and you're not there. So what happens? You give up. It happens to all of us. You feel like, be patient with yourself. Remember, you're probably coming from some hole, as it were, and you have to get to the surface and then you start climbing. Sometimes you're going to slip down. You're going to slip. You're going to go. You're going to fall down. You could maybe the rope just all that stuff. Once you're patient with yourself, once you have patience, and you give yourself some slack. I'm not saying be permissive, be indulgent, but understand that it is a process. Do not forget that it is a process, but just keep going. So focus on developing those qualities, those personal qualities, those virtuous qualities. If it's about timekeeping, if it's about, let's say you want to become a public speaker, but let's say if it's about developing yourself in a particular space, you want to become a better leader, you want to become a better manager, you want to become a better employee, you want to become a better business owner. It's all a process. You want to be healthier. It's a process. So you hit the gym 1, 2, 3 times, maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, and you feel like, oh, okay, I don't think I can do this again. It happens. But something happens and then you remember, I need to go back. Just do not stop. That's all I'm saying. Just me encouraging you, because I had this conversation today and I feel people going through a lot. And then a problem, an obstacle hits them and they stop because they feel they're supposed to just go, oh, I've tried. I'm saying just don't stop. To focus on developing yourself. Be patient with yourself. You see, if you're someone, it's about maybe, for instance, your temper, you're always getting angry. Each time you lose your temper, and you're trying to be calmer, you're trying to have a better management of your temper. Each time you lose your temper, ask yourself, what happened that led to me losing my temper? Because this is the chain which I've shared a number of times, is that your thoughts give rise to your emotion gives rise to your actions. And the moment you act, you see the result. So if you don't like the result, you ask yourself, why did I act this way? How was I feeling at the time? You need to deconstruct. You need to travel back. What thoughts? What was I thinking? And then your thoughts come from your content providers. What are the things that I listen to? Who are those I set as my role model? Who do I listen to? What books do I read? What audios do I listen to? What movies do I watch? What games do I play? All these things get into you and they trigger your thoughts, emotions, then you act. So you find yourself. So if it's about your temper, then the next time, then once you identify what happened that got you there, tell yourself, the next time this happens, what am I going to do? So you prepare yourself. Because when life throws something at you, between the time that thing hits you and the time that you respond, there's a gap. Prepare for that gap. The issue that many of us are not prepared to what we're going to do when this happens. So when it happens, it's like the time is too short for you to think, and then you react. So when you prepare in advance that this happens, or something similar happens again, this is what I'm going to do. That's a better way of approaching it. All right, that's a better way of approaching it. And so when that happens, I bet you, I almost will guarantee you that you will going to react differently. So I just used about losing your temper. It can be anything. Try to break away from drinking. I have worked in a place before where one of the guests walked up to me and said, "My drink is finished. I cannot take another bottle of drink. Can you put water in this bottle?" So I'll be drinking the water, and I understood. So this is someone that's probably trying to get away from drinking too much, and she's in a space. She was in a space where there's so much to drink. She came and she said, "Listen, you know what? Can you put water in this?" And respectfully arrange for that to be done. Okay, so you've got to take practical steps to help you, but prepare before it happens. Take a deep breath. Don't respond immediately. Tell yourself, I will always take a deep breath. Do a quick analysis before I respond. When I'm not sure, I will ask questions. So when you have this action plan, this action plan put in place, it's a lot, you respond better than just leaving it to chance. And whenever it happens, I would then at that point think about a way to respond. Remember, the key is this: the goal is important, but it's not as important as the activities that you carry out, because the activities transform you. The goal is simply a reward for that new person that you have become. Okay, so identify people, stories, principles that you can imbibe, you can learn, you can read about, you can put inside of you. Over time, you will gradually become a better version of yourself. All right, listen, as long as you are trying, trust me, as long as you are trying, you are not losing. Let me flip it. As long as you are losing, it means you're trying. Because if you don't try, you won't make that mistake. So, I've tried. Oh, again, it means you're trying. That's why you're getting knocked down. Keep going. Just keep going. But if nothing happens, you are not losing. You're not being knocked down. It means you're not trying. As long as you're losing, sometimes you experience a relapse. It means you're trying. My encouragement to you today is, don't just stay fixated on the goal and then stop trying. To nail this, to stand this home, let me say, as you're traveling on that cruise ship, then the captain gets an information that there's fire, there's a natural disaster on that island. So you guys can't go to the island again. So the ship would have to turn and probably go to another island or turn and bring you back. Will you say you have totally lost out on the experience? I don't think so. The only thing is you did not get to the island. That very island, you probably got to another island. Or better still, at least you went round and had an experience back. It's not a total waste. That's what I'm saying. So if something happens, you don't hit that goal in 5 years, but you have kept going, keep losing, and then you get one step, you go back a little bit, make 2 steps, you make 1 step, you keep carrying out the activities, I guarantee you are not the same person. You're a different person. If you keep going, you will eventually hit the goal. Sometimes the goal is there. We just don't understand what the real goal is. Sometimes what we think the goal is just objectives we set along the line. There's nothing wrong in changing the objectives to eventually take you to that goal. My name is Stallone-Obaraemi. If this makes sense to you, please subscribe to this channel and like this video, share this video. My sincere desire for you, my friend, is that you go on succeeding by becoming a better version of yourself. Until I come your way again, go on succeeding, and bye for now.